my shadow. You I follow in my pattern.
Hello and welcome to the Ladies' Room. Today it is my great pleasure to have one of the loveliest people in the Hamptons, Jeanne Cuddy-Pertez, who is an incredible private chef and does all kinds of events, and now will be teaching online, and you should do her course. So Jeanne,
Hi, Jude. So nice to be here.
nice to have you. So, how long ago did you start cooking online, and is this a new series of workshops that you're doing?
The whole online marketing has been sort of a little pivot, like off season, that I do it for like 7 months a year. I'm working on and doing it. And so I am, I would say inside of a year doing the workshops. Yeah, I was still
And you're calling
learning.
it Kitchen Confidence?
Yes, I think
It's a great name.
it's really important. I've figured out that people need to have more confidence in the kitchen.
Right.
Not everyone, of course, but there are a certain group of people, and by teaching like the essential tools that I call my essential tools, I've just how to make things easier for yourself. And it's not like buying it, going somewhere and getting an expensive pot. It's about simpler things.
Right,
They
simple
just-
ingredients,
yeah.
good ingredients, starts with good ingredients,
Yeah.
right?
But it's the tools. So,
Yeah.
things that just help you do the work,
Oh, we'll get into
So,
talking.
yeah.
I always say to Michael and Jennifer, the right tool, because
Yeah.
they'll be using this tiny little knife, and we've got like these great, all different knives, and the right knife for the right job.
Absolutely.
What started you, did you have a career before you got into food and
Yeah, well, I was actually working with my husband, Shimon.
oh, right.
Yeah, I got out of
Was
art
an
school.
incredible woodworker.
Ye-
Beautiful
yes,
things.
Yes. And I met him really, this is New York City, 1980s.
Didn't he beat you buying a
mid-80s.
cup of coffee or something? I'm trying to remember
No,
the
well,
story.
well, yes, I worked at a place, it was a textile designer in the front of the space in Soho.
Uh-huh.
And in the back it was called Aggie's, and Aggie was a character, and she made these delicious things, and coffee, and it was an underground place, people wouldn't normally walk in.
In the
and-
village?
In Soho,
Uh-huh.
on Prince Street, and Aggie would have the newspapers and magazines, so it was a
People
cool
would hang
place
out.
to hang.
Yeah.
And he would come through, and that's how I met him, to have lunch.
Ah.
So that's how we kind of got
And you were a
together.
beautiful young girl. what were you,
Yes, I was young.
24 or something?
Um,
Maybe even a little
I
younger.
was probably turning 23. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Oh, the good old days. It's like 50 years later or
Oh,
something.
my
It's so
gosh.
crazy. So, and then did you get into, well, you were working with Shimon, and then when did you transition to being a chef, and how did that happen?
So when we were living together in Soho, he had a loft. And he hadn't really renovated it. There was like plumbing and electrical in the space, but he hadn't done the cabinets and made a kitchen. So when I was there and I was cooking all the time, I just couldn't stop cooking. He decided, let's finish this kitchen. I mean, it was this really cool, Soho kitchen, and then that was really my passion.
Did you know it was your passion before you started cooking for Shimon, or?
I did love it, but I didn't think about doing it professionally until I moved to New York. Because I just thought, wow, it's so cool and there's so many avenues. So when we were moving here in 1991, he said, that's all you really want to do. Why don't you just change careers?
That's a good supportive husband,
Yes.
yeah.
So I found a program in the city. And then we moved out in April, and that was it. I was in the real
You were a
business.
private chef.
Well, I didn't go private for many, many years. I was in a lot of local restaurants, and
Being a sous chef and stuff?
I wasn't really a sous chef for anyone, but I was a pastry chef. I did work on the team in kitchens. I would do set people up at parties where if the restaurant was running on a Saturday night and they were having a party, I would make sure all the hors d'oeuvres were done and had some people helping me do that. And so whatever it took,
You
really.
and I did Michael's 60th birthday party together.
Yes, that was
You were so great. That was so much fun.
it was so much fun.
I was going to say 82 years ago. Yeah, we're both over 100 years old. He's 82. That was 22 years ago.
Wow. And that
Wow.
great kitchen in
Oh,
the
that
house.
great kitchen.
Yeah, it was fun. Yeah,
It
we
was
had a lot of fun.
It was a fun
Shopping
party too.
first, going to
Yes.
Riverhead and doing all
Yeah,
that.
we did it all. We were girlfriends
Yes.
cooking for a big party. That was so
funny.
much fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the good old days. So and then you worked on a TV show, didn't you? Work on Ina
I
Garten's
did.
TV show.
Yes.
What was that like?
That was really a blast. I mean, I knew Ina because I worked in her store for a year.
Barefoot Contessa.
Yeah, and that was great. It was a great experience. She was a great employer.
Uh-huh.
She made things happen, and nothing just sort of went. If something was broken, it was fixed in no time. It was just she really
She's
took care of
Pretty
things.
funny about it because she knew nothing about food when she bought that store, she said.
Well, I think she did cook somewhat like I did, like loved doing it, and she did it for Jeffrey. This is before they were married. But yeah, no, and then she learned a lot from the person she bought the store from.
Did the person that she bought the store from stay on? Didn't
She
overlap
did.
with
She
her?
stayed on, I think they had a month or two, maybe, something like that. But what was I saying? That working on the show was sort of came from nowhere. A friend of a friend was working on the show, and she suggested me as another person there. They needed somebody else as in the food
I wish
styling
you had been
team.
on camera because you're so pretty and it would have been such an
thank you.
addition, but
Oh yeah,
she's a star.
Ina doesn't need me.
Ina's a star. Yeah.
So anyway, I went and met, and it was a wonderful production company from Britain, and they were just fun and professional, and we just had a blast. It was a long time, and it was freelance, so we usually did like 2 months a year, separate months, April and
Yeah.
September. So it worked for
It
my
was
schedule.
intense when it was happening, I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything good takes work.
So you still do all your private chef events. What made you transition to doing workshops online?
Well, my private chefing is in the summer months. So
yeah.
that takes up that
That
time.
makes sense.
And then this, I've always been working on the off season to build something new to augment what I'm doing. It's nice to have some variety.
And so your workshops, they just go to your website to sign up for a workshop?
They're not like I will have some that will just run whenever you would like to view it, but otherwise
they'll be on YouTube?
I'm launching them. I launch them, and then you sign up and pay for them, and but you'll hear about the launches when they're live on my website. Yeah, you could follow me clearly or Instagram.
On Instagram? But the workshops are not on Instagram. You
They're
just
not.
find out how to sign up on
Yes,
Instagram.
you'll hear about them sort of like
And then are they Zoomed? Is it a
they're
Zoom
Zoomed.
thing?
Yeah,
Huh.
they're fun.
Yeah.
And so sometimes I may do just individual, like I will just be filming, tutorials. But yeah, it's fun because you get the other people involved as well.
Yeah. And so the tutorials, I know we did some cooking shows here at LTV. We love LTV. LTV's the best, isn't it?
Yes.
So great. And you will always stress the importance of tools. What are your favorite tools in the kitchen?
So in the most recent workshop I used scales, digital scales.
Really? Do you think that's important?
It's incredibly important, especially baking. It makes it so much
baking.
easier to weigh. It just quickly weigh instead of a lot of people don't measure properly. They kind of bang the cup around and
So it
level
packs
and
up,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, so it's more than the recipe really
Yeah.
calls for.
But you have to subtract the weight of the cup then and everything.
Yeah, you just put it. You could do the tear,
Oh, the
and the tear
digital.
will zero it out.
Oh, yeah, I haven't,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's really easy.
Haven't
It's
seen
great.
a food scale.
Yeah, and you measure. I will make like a cocktail recipe with just measuring them because recipes give the ounces as well.
Yeah,
So it's easy.
yeah.
So the scale I think is useful. And spatulas, like a number of different spatulas, like offset spatulas where they come down and go straight. So you have
Never heard of that.
an offset. Well, you've definitely seen them before. I wish I'd brought some. That was silly.
So
So
why
if you
isn't
had
it
like a
called an
wooden,
offset spatula?
because let's just say this is I'm holding a wooden handle,
Uh-huh.
and then there's just a blade that comes out on a spatula that has the round edge, and it's flexible, and you can kind of butter things with it.
Oh,
And
so
so
it's
the
good for icing cakes and stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, that makes
Okay,
sense.
and then the offset has a little jigger, and then it goes straight, so you have more leverage.
Huh.
It's like my brownies, smoothing those into the
You
pan.
make great brownies.
Yeah, the
Ooh.
peanut butter,
Yeah.
so it's just very helpful. It's another helpful thing.
Uh-huh.
And then some silicone spatulas.
Oh, the
with-
silicone,
Yeah,
they rinse off, so, I mean, anything just goes right off of them like silk.
and
It's
some of them
amazing.
have like they're like a spoonula where they're spoon shaped, and there's a measure so you can just pour whatever you're doing.
Oh,
There's
that's cool.
Yeah, and they come in different sizes. And what else do we like?
Probably a lemon zester.
Lemon
zester?
zester.
So when
Yeah.
you zest on a lemon zester, do you just go in one direction or you go back and forth? And how do you
No.
get it all out from inside?
You really
just-
just bang it.
Yeah, bang
just
it.
bang it. I mean, some
I
people.
just take my pinky in and go down the
Yeah.
edges.
Yeah, but some people do the opposite. I don't find it comfortable where the opening is at the top. So you're zesting from the bottom,
Oh,
and then it's easier, but it just doesn't make sense to me.
doesn't make sense to me either.
And the thing is, what you really want to do is not to zest back and forth, because all you want is the lemon yellow. You don't want the
Right. No,
pith
you don't
that's
want the
below.
pith, you don't want the white part.
Makes it bitter. Yeah.
Hmm.
So I just go 1 and 2, and I'm rotating it as I go. So you're just skinning it.
And you put lemon zest in your tuna fish
Mhm.
when you make tuna fish and a little bit of mustard.
Yeah,
That was surprising to me,
yeah.
but I made it that way and it was the best tuna fish salad I've ever had.
I do it to egg salad too.
Oh,
Yeah, it's just a little, I mean, it works so beautifully. It has a fresh flavor.
yeah, the lemon brightens it.
Yes.
The zest.
Yeah.
I think the first class I ever took with you was at Williams-Sonoma a million years ago.
I never taught there.
No, I thought
So
that was you.
You.
I
it
knew I
was
took a
at
pizza
Wolfer.
shop thing with you at Wolfer.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know who did that class at Williams-Sonoma, but she was stressing mise en place.
Yes.
And I know when you came here to do the cooking classes,
Right.
mise en place means everything in its place. And that's why when you see the cooking shows on TV, they already have the garlic in a little dish and the oil in a little dish and the herbs in a little dish. So when you're cooking, you're not like, oh, where's that basil? Oh, where's that,
Yeah, it's really
everything's
preparing in
already
advance.
measured and in the mise en place, in their place, and then you just go bloop, bloop, bloop when the
Yeah.
time is right.
Yeah,
So,
it's great.
what's your favorite dish to make?
Well, I use this answer a lot only because it's an interesting dish, and I can't make it all the time because we would be bored of it. But it's also very versatile for people who either are vegan or vegetarian. It's a ratatouille. And it's just a
yum.
little difference how I make it, but also it's more like a combination of Provençal and with the
Tomatoes and onions.
lavender.
Oh, lavender.
It's in lavender, dried lavender. It's a what is the season?
Food grade lavender?
Herbs de Provence.
Oh, herbs de
Some of
Provence.
them have
I use
lavender.
that in like omelets
Yeah,
sometimes.
yeah.
Herbs de Provence. There's
And
lavender in herbs de
so-
Provence?
in some recipes, yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's nice. But the other thing is, yes. Oh, so it's Provençal and a little Moroccan. There's some Moroccan flavors in there. So
You're really good with herbs and curries and things
I
and
like that. I
the
like that.
Mediterranean flavors and
If you
the
just use
exotic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
If
love
you
your
just
food.
use, not overpower it unless
Yeah.
that's your palate,
Yeah.
but it's like a hint and you're like, huh, what is that?
Yeah, exotic.
Yeah.
And there's layers then to the
It
flavors.
totally, yes, I
Yeah.
love that. But the other thing with this cooking of the ratatouille is I cook everything separately, and usually it's considered a one-pot dish, and you just keep adding.
Oh,
But
but
when
the squashes cook at different times.
so you
You
put
don't want
everything.
anything mushy.
No, so it's beautiful. You take everything out just right.
So what do you put in it? Zucchini, obviously.
So zucchini, I will put both yellow and green squash, but that's at the end. Tomato
What's a green squash?
is zucchini.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I
Good.
will put.
Saute onion first.
I do everything roast in the oven on sheet trays.
Roasted.
Yeah, and you can share a sheet tray with different
Yeah,
ingredients.
that cook the same
Yeah,
time.
and
So onion
and you just take things out when they're ready. You know, if
yeah.
they could be on a piece of
So what
parchment.
goes in your ratatouille then?
So, okay, to add to that, I do a chunky tomato, like chunks of tomato,
Right.
just roast. And, everything's seasoned before you do it, salt, pepper, and whatever else, whether it's the herb Provence, some thyme, whatever
Yeah.
you like to do. What else do we have in there? Thinking of my recipe. I wish I had thought about
Oh,
it before.
good olive oil.
Yes, oh yeah, there's olive oil throughout.
What's your favorite olive oil these days?
There's something I can't recall the name from Williams Sonoma. It's California. I'm sorry, I can't think of
It's
the name.
interesting the different flavors of olive
Yes.
oil.
Yes.
Extra virgin olive oil. I never realized, I think until you doing a cooking
Right.
class here,
That they.
the different tastes. I think you brought several to taste and
Yes.
we just dip bread or something.
Yes.
Uh,
I
carrot or
also want to
something.
point out that Judy has great archives of all of the shows, and I've been watching them from years past that I've been involved
Those old
with.
cooking shows are good.
They're
and we
very
had
good.
Fun.
So I would love to say that one coming up, we were talking about olive oils, and I just need to get the date on it, but it really was a
I would
good
have it in
one.
my book. The
Yeah,
date, yeah.
it was great, and it talked about, like you said to me, you were making a salad dressing, and you said, does it need more of something? I said, I don't know, you tell me. Does it need more vinegar? Does it need more salt? Does it?
Yeah, everybody's palate is different
Yeah.
too.
Right,
And everybody's chemistry is different, so they taste things in
Yes.
different ways.
right.
Is it true that pepper makes things taste better because it roughs up your taste buds in the back of your mouth?
I've never
heard
heard
that
that
once.
before. Yeah,
And I always wondered if that was true.
yeah. That's
Ooh, remember MSG?
Yes.
I think that's what that was. It's like little pieces of glass cutting your tongue so that you tasted the food more. Who knows?
That's very funny.
What is MSG? Do we know?
Well, it's a-
Monosodium glutamate,
Yeah,
right?
it's a salt of some sort.
It's a salt of some
Yeah.
kind. Doesn't make things saltier though, does it?
No, but well, it acts as that anyway.
Do people still use it? I got a really bad rap for headaches and stuff.
Yeah, people still do use it. I just saw it
Chinese
in a recipe.
restaurants use it.
Well, no, if this was I really don't remember whose it was, but it was not an Oriental recipe. And I think, I mean, to be
can't
fair, I
imagine
think it does do something for flavor. I just don't like to use it. But
Yeah.
I don't
No,
think.
a chef wouldn't.
Yeah, I don't know. I think some chefs even may use it. They may peak flavors in a certain way,
Yeah, well,
Yeah. And you don't do it all the time.
yeah.
But
That's
that's
definitely how they sell it, that it makes the flavors
Yes,
bloom.
you're right. Like
Yeah.
salt does.
Pardon?
Like salt
Like
does.
salt, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you don't
But
want to
boy,
taste
you
the salt.
oversalt something and it's ruined.
Oh, yeah. No, but you don't undersalt it. That's just
No.
it. Yeah.
And is it, I've always heard that it's best to only, like if you're making a soup or anything, only salt it at the very end, not while you're cooking it.
I don't do that. I salt all the way through.
You do,
But not very much.
Yeah,
so
not
that you
very
can
much.
finish it. 'Cause
exactly.
Yeah, you
Just
want.
the taste at the
Yeah,
end.
it's like anything you're doing. Like if you're doing, for instance, chicken cutlets or chicken Milanese, you want to salt the chicken,
Salt and pepper,
the chicken,
both sides, yeah.
and then you want to
And
salt
fish
your
too.
right, but also the breadcrumbs, also the flour, also the eggs that you're using. So everything should
really?
be flavored.
So if you're making an omelet, do you put the salt and pepper in the eggs before you start cooking them? Or does it make them heavier?
if I'm just scrambling myself some eggs,
Yeah.
I'll put the salt and pepper in. But if I'm doing an omelet, I may not, and I'll add that. And some chefs really like to add just some crystallized salt at the top on the top of the dish.
Have you ever had an omelet with sour cream and caviar?
No,
I did that on New Year's Day. It's
nice.
so delicious.
Did you
Sour
make it
cream
for
and
yourself?
caviar. Yeah.
Oh,
Or even if you don't have caviar, sour cream and chutney
yeah,
on an omelet.
yeah.
Delish. So the people that come to your workshops or watch your workshops, what do you find their biggest challenges are, and how do you get them to get over it? Is it lack of? I know your workshops are called Kitchen Confidence
Yes,
now, right?
yes. It runs the gambit a bit, but I think people just want more ease. And I think that, some of the tools I use help that ease, but also, like I was using sheet pans to answer your question before, spatulas, scales, sheet pans. Like they're different sizes. They're very helpful to maybe a small dinner for two, instead of thinking, oh gosh, I've got to take out this pan and, and then scrub it and wash it. Just even in the cleaning, you want ease.
The big cookie sheets
Yeah.
that fit in the oven perfectly.
Right.
There are standard sizes for things.
Yes.
And my daughter will pull out this big piece and then crumple it around the edges. And I'm like,
Foil.
Jennifer, the size, the long Reynolds wrap is exactly the right size. You just flatten it out, comes up a little on the edges, and then a little extra on the long sides. And that way oil doesn't get on your cookie sheet and your cookie sheet stays looking new.
Yes.
And then you can even pick it up and use it as a funnel to put in your bowl.
Exactly right.
Or if you're not ready to put it in the bowl, make a little tent out of the tin foil and let it sit there until everything else is ready. But we roast a lot of things. And put the things that cook around the same time, like onions take a long time to roast. So I'll put them maybe on the pan with the carrots, because they take a long time.
Are you dicing your onions?
I make sure that things are cut around the same size so that they, and then they're the same size in the whatever dish you're making.
Yeah.
But we roast stuff. It's not in the summer, but in the winter. Summer we eat tomato basil mozzarella almost every day.
Right.
Because the tomatoes are not in the beginning of the summer.
I know, but they're
Yeah,
they're good.
I love basil.
I just want to point out one thing. I know there's a lot of people listening that don't like to use foil for the aluminum aspect of it.
Oh, right.
So
I
a
didn't
couple
even think of that.
things because I don't want to be scrubbing pots and pans at the end of the day, for sure.
I use the foil.
So, but you can put parchment paper on top of it. So the
Great
food is
idea.
on it. Yeah, that's what I've been doing.
Well, I have rolls of it too.
And parchment is one of my tools. And
Interesting.
you buy them, you can use it on the roll, but it's
At Costco,
easier.
they come 2 rolls, and I bought it. I thought, I'll never use this much parchment paper.
Right.
But now I will.
Yeah, and I if next time you need it, I would buy sheets. You can get sheets
Oh,
on
they're
Amazon.
pre-cut?
Yeah, and they're really easy and very
Huh.
helpful.
Storage is a problem.
I store
So
them
they
right
come
on
in
top of my
packages like-
sheet trays.
Oh, of course. My mother, our oven at home when growing up, our oven was like our bread box. Right? The bread was in there, the crackers were in there. So I have all my extra like baking pans and everything in the oven.
Yeah.
And I think every time I take them out, because I'm using my cookie sheets, and I have a stack of baking pans, casserole thing.
Yes.
And I think of my mother. It's just so many things remind you of things.
Of course.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to answer more about the pain points of the people that follow me.
Okay.
So I'm doing things online, so I get a lot of people online, the people that not necessarily people I know in the community.
Right.
Although there seems to be a lot that are.
Well, anybody that knows you would follow you. Yeah,
Right.
certainly.
And so they want things that are simpler.
Yeah.
They want to learn how to use things properly, and not even just tools, but techniques. And just to improve in the simplest ways. And then I've seen people like really grow and say, okay, I'm on to the next. What's next? Which is really fun to see,
Yeah.
like in any training, it's really fun to see someone catch up and then say, let's go to the next level. So
Yeah.
I will be doing many more different courses. I will be doing things privately. I could do things in people's homes and as well mine.
If a
But-
person wanted to have you come to their house, can they have like 6 of their girlfriends come and
Yeah,
get a lesson?
yeah,
That's great.
yeah, I've done that before.
That's great. That's fun too,
Yeah.
because then you get to eat the food you make.
Yes,
Have it.
yes, everyone can sit and they're
Girls-
very proud
girls'
of their
night.
food.
Yeah.
I once did a luncheon for a friend's mother, and they wanted to do what were we doing? Tuna niçoise. So we bought all the greens for that, and
A what?
a tuna niçoise salad.
Oh, yeah, that's what
So
I
it's the
said.
green beans, the
Love
tuna, and the
niçoise
potatoes,
salad, my
and
favorite.
they were so proud. They plated it. That one group that did the tuna, they just plated it, and it was lovely. It
And
was-
did you do, obviously fresh tuna?
Oh,
that-
yeah.
That you seared.
yeah.
Yeah.
And we actually grilled it that day. It was April,
it.
so it was nice enough to
Yum.
grill. Yeah. So yeah, no, I mean, I think people, and I think that women really do like to bond because, kitchen
Sure.
conversations are really important.
Well,
What
that's why
happens.
we used to always do the show in the kitchen, because it's called the ladies' room.
Right.
It's about giving women more room to express themselves.
Right.
And we started out in the kitchen, but now we're just like ladies of leisure, sitting around, talking at the coffee table, drinking straight vodka, people. Yeah.
Well, you know what I was going to say is that also, anyone that's interested who's listening, I will do some cooking courses next year for you, in your show. And
Oh, great.
if people
That would be
have any
great.
things they want to learn,
Yeah.
we could,
Yeah. All the
Take out
shows
some
are on YouTube
suggestions.
now, so
yes.
I never did a bio, so my picture doesn't come up. But I guess if you Googled the ladies' room, you could find Jeanne's shows, and they are wonderful.
Yes.
You're a wonderful teacher.
Well,
Wonderful
thank
teacher.
you. There is, as December's coming,
Yeah, we're finished, but
Oh.
yeah, December's coming and what?
I was going to suggest the brownie one because it also talks about different gifts.
Yeah, gifts, and then you wrap them
Yeah.
beautifully and everything.
So, I might even put that on my website, like, here's the thing. I mean, people know my brownie because I.
Yeah, they're delicious. They have a little bit of peanut butter under the ganache.
Oh, yeah, what we never talked about is going to my website.
And your website is Jeanne Cuddy-Pertez?
Jeanne.
At Jeanne Cuddy-Pertez, and it will be on the screen.
It's Jeanne, it's,
What?
oh,
No-
that's my
sorry.
email, Jeanne at Jeanne Cuddy-Pertez.
Oh, what's your website?
Is JeanneCuddy-Pertez.com.
JeanneCuddy-Pertez.com. Okay. Well, it's great to have you.
Thank
for
you.
coming. Live, love, laugh, be happy, and eat great food. Get lessons from Jeanne, and you'll become a much better cook,
Ah,
for sure.
thank you, Jude.
Right.
Breathe in